All right. Well, hey everyone. Welcome around the world. We are back for another kind of talk that we've been doing here as we kind of share hearts with people from so many different places. Today we're joined by Larry Simpson, a friend of the organization for a long time, a board member, um, and now he's just a big contributor in so many ways. And he's done so much. Larry, tell everyone at home just a little about your story, and how you kind of came to know us.
Hey, yeah, well, thanks, Adam, for having me. It's always just a great time connecting with you. Um, Adam's a dear brother who the Lord calls our paths across several years ago, and it's just it's been neat. And something that really attracted me about Adam and during the journey is, well, one, just Adam's heart for it, and it was a heart that was shared, kind of like a kindred, among other military people, and the view and everything of what you were doing through during the journey. And of course, as a service member, 27 years in the Air Force, which was a wonderful time. And I'm one of those who probably um, I gave a lot to the Air Force, but I want to say that I got more out of it than what I gave. And I mentioned that just from the standpoint of that, what a blessing it was. Um, just a real connection. And I think that one of those things was this service, part of service that's just part of me, but also just the opportunity to serve other people. And I think that's also what attracted me about your ministry, Adam, through Join the Journey. It's the opportunity to serve others who need a leg up, so to speak, or you know, uh, Jesus said that the poor you would always have with you, some of the least of these people, and it's not necessarily a hand out, but a hand up. And that's what I saw in Join the Journey. And it just connected with the person who I am.
Yeah, it's so powerful, Larry. And this past week, as you know, we did Spark Hope Week.
Yeah,
Had a chance to sponsor several and tens and twenties, and I think the final total was about 35 total entrepreneurs in 1 week. Incredible. And
that's
I know
awesome.
you were a part of that. You found someone on the website, you sponsored them, you got a chance to see and sit in on a couple of Zooms with Zambia. Tell our friends who might be watching this, listening to this, what that experience was like for you.
Really a neat experience. One, again, and I've been fortunate enough to be, uh, to have some visibility of what your ministry is doing from the ground floor up. So I remember talking about Zimbabwe one day, and then suddenly it's bam, this heck, you're there, you connected with everyone, and all these people, who are you making possible to live out their heart's dream. And you used the word entrepreneur, but I like to think of it as people who are striving to live out their heart's dream, their heart's desire. And so being a part of Sparks Week was that for me. It was exciting to see the recipients uh, with a true, heart and vision for moving forward, with their own businesses, be it in the marketplace, selling various items, or working out of their homes, sewing, or someplace else in a shop sewing, or whatever it was. The one gentleman who was blind, who was operating a grocery store, I think it was. I thought, wow, you know, look at that. And something that really impressed me about him was that he was getting help from other people. And so just to see that the potential of these people who participated in Sparks Week, uh, helping their community or providing support to their community, such as the gentleman who was operating a grocery store, and he certainly needed help. But through that, his heart's desire was to provide that. But just from that, he was bringing along other people because he also needed help and support. So it was exciting seeing the organization of it. The gentleman in Zambia, who's the lead, the project manager, I'm not sure what you exactly call him over there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chim.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
Country director.
yes. What an awesome guy. I mean, well organized. Uh, Seeing the all the different venues that he had set up from day to day, from the dancers and those playing music on one day, and then having them shift to another location on another day, and then watching them, everybody get ready to receive their funding, and one he had them all dressed similarly on one day with same color tops and everything, and then on the day of receiving, everybody's reaching for their telephones, and I'm wondering, wow, what's that all about? And I thought, just the capability. So it was really exciting to be a part of that and to witness it.
That's incredible, Larry. And I think you speak to this idea of planting a seed somewhere
Yeah.
and watching it grow. Now, you've been around the world with this organization, and you've been to Haiti, and now you're stepping into Zambia virtually.
Mhm.
Tell me about just what that perspective is for you. Always kind of committing in, whether you're there,
Yeah,
seeing people face to face or on a Zoom. There's got to be something special about seeing lives touched.
you bet. And again, it goes back to join the journey, and what it provides. For me, I've always been a guy with a heart for service, but I've always wanted to be able to help people, and that people who that all that they could give back to me in return was a thank you. And that, and then going to Haiti, it was definitely that. And I would not have been able to go there without my involvement with Join the Journey, but the connection there, just using Haiti as an example. And we all know what Haiti is going through right now, and the recent earthquake, from a week or two ago now. And they're trying to recover from that. And then they get hit by a tropical storm. And before all that, all the violence uh, from on the political side, you just don't shun it off. You haven't been there. And I'd say that some of the people who supported Join the Journey through my going there, I've been surprised. Not surprised. I'm not surprised at all, because this is the hearts of those people. How many have reached out to me just within the past 2 weeks since the Haiti earthquake, and they were saying, "Hey, have you heard anything? And how about the church, down there? And everybody okay?" And so a couple of the Bible study groups that I'm associated with have, added uh, the Haiti, people, the Haiti Join the Journey Church to their prayer list. The project guy, James, down there on their prayer list, and just looking for updates. So that bit of reaching around the world, and not just from a touch and go standpoint, but to being able to connect with people, um, and in a sense do life with people who are struggling. Um, it's been very meaningful to me, and now with the potential of uh, Zambia. I'm sorry. Same. They're set same opportunity. So it's good.
I think you hit on something so crucial, that when you plant a seed and you see it grow, it really, especially in the charity world, it's really foundational with people that support you with
Hmm.
their generosity. And so what you're describing is maybe those people weren't able to go to Haiti in the same context you were, but they were there with you along the way.
Right.
And those bonds and those connections, they last.
Yeah.
You know, and it's certainly evident. It's definitely evident, and our hearts and our prayers are with that church. And I know that thanks be to God that the earthquake was more a little bit western.
Mhm.
But still, the country, I think you're right, has been so much. Um, and we know that we can just keep praying for it, keep
Yes.
praying. And it just shows you how important it is to build resilient communities.
Hmm.
Because as our chapter closed there, we said, hey, we've empowered you.
Hmm.
Go forth now. You've got a church, be the church.
Hmm.
I think that's so important for all of us, even as we look at our work in Zambia. How do we find a moment and when does that come when we say, hey, we've empowered you guys
Hmm.
to help this community and you've already seen it.
Hmm.
They're doing it. They're doing it. And I expect uh, another 2 to 3 years and we can just let them fly,
Hmm. Hmm.
and that's what you want.
Yes, yes, and it certainly has the potential for that. And I know that you guys provide training to those who participate in the program, those entrepreneurs. So there is an intentional means that would lead to that taking off and then being well, one, for them to do well, uh, receiving the support, the encouragement of the ministry, but then also becoming totally independent, and they're being able to give back and bring others along, and of course, and you can move on to the next one, or whatever thought that might be. But the relationships that will be formed along the way will be lasting relationships from that other board members will establish, just in their interacting with the people, and vice versa, the people to them. The guy down in Haiti, I sent a note right after the earthquake to him, just said, hey, just checking in, and he came back and just told me a lot of stuff and sent pictures and everything, and so we traded a couple of notes, so those things, they become lasting, and they take off on their own. So um, JTG is a huge catalyst in that sense. So yeah, it's a great opportunity.
No, that's incredible. Well, Larry, we certainly appreciate all that you've done and the heart to serve. Any final words for people as they're thinking about that cross section between service, purpose, um, and making a difference?
Yeah, yeah, yes. Do it. You know, Sometimes things that seem far off, there's a bit of, well, but it's not here in front of me. But that's not true. These are real life, real people, and it all goes around. And who knows uh, what that person may end up doing. Who you help support. So I'd say, uh, pray about it. Uh, don't question. Don't overthink it, and get involved. Because we make a difference. I believe in, it's Bible, back in Genesis, where uh, Cain had asked the Lord, am I my brother's keeper? And I go, I am my brother's keeper. You know, I do have a responsibility as I go through life to um, connect, to be involved in the lives of others. Uh, Jesus said, "The poor will always be among you." And so, what does that mean? So that mean that I overlook them? No, that's not what he's saying. There's opportunities to engage, and so I'd say, get involved. Um, you don't need to try to do all of it. Just do uh, your part, that part that you have peace about doing. and and let God increase your effort.
Amen. Yeah, so well said. And on that note, let's get after it. And we look forward to keep having you on there. We're getting a trip. We're starting to get the pieces together for a trip. And yeah, we'll be in touch with everyone. So thanks for your time, and we'll talk soon.
Great. All right. Thank you, Adam. All righty.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Take care.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye.